Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
At the mention of reggae music, what comes to the minds of many is Bob Marley. But for the records, Jimmy Cliff was the musician who actually broke reggae out of Jamaica and presented it to the world. He's also very instrumental in bringing ska to an international audience, largely through his touring and his performance in the landmark film The Harder They Come in 1972. My name is Ras Dennis, and you are welcome back to another video by Reggae Just Extra.
You are now watching Reggae Just Extra's Jimmy Cliff's edition.
This episode is about Jimmy Cliff, the 1985 and 2012 Grammy Award winner, and the person who auditioned Bob Marley and helped him get his first recording. Kindly stay tuned and do remember to subscribe to this channel, like, share, and most importantly hit the notification bell to be the first to watch our next video.
When did you connect with Leslie Kong, and how did that come about, and how did it impact your music?
One night I was just passing by Leslie Kong's establishment, which was a record shop, and I saw it marked Beverly's. And I thought if I wrote a song called Beverly's, I could get my foot through the door. And so in 10 minutes I wrote the song. And
Jimmy Cliff was born James Chambers on July 30th, 1944 in Somerton, St. James, Jamaica. He was essentially the pathfinder who broke through to international recognition before the world knew Bob Marley. He starred in and wrote half the music for Perry Hensel's The Harder They Come, 1972. As Ivan, a country boy new to Kingston who is hustled out of a surefire hit by corrupt producers and ends as a murderous ghetto legend, Cliff's unpredictable, brooding charisma powered one of the greatest pop movies. Filmed guerrilla style on violent streets and burning with raw energy, it was a simmering underground smash across a globe till then indifferent to reggae. Cliff's soulful rude boy rebel character then became the model for Chris Blackwell at Island when he met Marley soon afterwards and marketed him into international immortality. From Peter Tosh recording with the Rolling Stones to Sean Paul in the top 10, reggae as a global phenomenon started with Cliff. In the early years, Jimmy Cliff, a product of Beverly's record studio and a welder by profession, was close to Bob Marley. He would eventually introduce the slightly younger Bob Marley to Beverly's studio and arrange a welding job for him at his workplace, Milled's Welding Works, South Camp Road, in Kingston. Soon after, the 14-year-old Bob Marley would record his first songs, Judge Not, One Cup of Coffee and Terror, with the 16-year-old Jimmy Cliff as producer for Beverly's. None of the songs were successful and his climb had begun. At the age 14, Jimmy Cliff started performing in local shows and fairs and honing his craft. Shortly after, he moves to Kingston and changes his birth name from James Chambers to Jimmy Cliff. In Kingston, he didn't have much luck at first getting his music in the right hands until he happens by a music store and decides to convince Leslie Kong, an influential Chinese-Jamaican reggae producer, to take him under his wing. Leslie Kong didn't need to help him out, but as he watched Cliff performing outside of his shop singing a song Dearest Beverly after the record store that Kong owned, he decides to take him under his wing and teach him the ropes. This encounter leads Kong to launch his own record label, Beverly's, and to record Cliff's songs while launching Cliff's career in the process. The first two singles failed miserably, but then his career takes off when Hurricane Hattie becomes a hit when he's still 14. It's also a song that Kong produced. Furthermore, his work relationship continues until 1971 when Kong passes from a heart attack.
You are now watching Reggae Just Extra's Jimmy Cliff's edition.
Cliff continues to write and perform locally while keeping his career going, especially with hit singles like King of Kings, Dearest Beverly, Miss Jamaica, and Pride and Passion. In 1964, magic happens again when Cliff is chosen as one of Jamaica's representatives at the World's Fair in New York. At the same time, Cliff is featured in a program called This Is Ska, alongside Prince Buster, Toots and the Maytals, Byron Lee and the Dragonaires. He catches the eye of Island Records and is signed to Island Records and ends up moving to the United Kingdom. In the late 1960s, his career really takes off with his debut of Hard Road to Travel, which releases in 1967. The song Waterfall is a hit right out of the box. Following up within 1969 by Wonderful World, Beautiful People and Vietnam in 1970, as well as the single Wild World, a cover of the Cat Stevens song. He quickly rose to stardom, but not without a price to pay. I found out that I made enemies for no reason, just by being successful. That was a very strange thing to me. And also, if I wanted my privacy, it wasn't that easy to come by. Cliff told Killian Fox of The Guardian newspaper. He further stated that Bob Marley was very ambitious too. He knew where he wanted to go and had the energy to get there. According to him, Bob Marley came to Island Records when he was getting ready to quit the label. So being the type of character that he is, Cliff told Bob Marley, "Be careful with Island Records founder, Chris Blackwell." And Bob Marley suddenly hit back and said, "Me know him tricky." Bob was so sharp, Cliff didn't need to say anything more. Although Jimmy Cliff's success in Jamaica, Britain, and the United States was soon eclipsed by that of Bob Marley, Cliff remained extremely popular in Africa and South America, and his 1993 cover of Johnny Nash's pop reggae hit "I Can See Clearly Now" helped renew his broader popularity. His other recordings include the Grammy Award-winning albums Cliffhanger, 1985, and Rebirth, 2012. Cliff was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, and he is the only living reggae musician to hold the Order of Merit, the highest honor that can be granted by the Jamaican government for achievements in the arts and sciences. Thanks for watching, and do remember to subscribe, give it a like, and post a positive comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.
Many thanks for watching Reggae Gist Extra with Ras Dennis.